All right, fellas. Game recap. Let's get to it. A game against Atlanta offered an opportunity for a conference win, which Dallas needed, not just for the playoffs, but to stop the winless trend. But once again, after quarter three, it was clear a win was not to be. And during quarter four, Cowboys fans learned they lost even more, as Rain Dakota Prescott has now been placed on IR. But no need to worry, Dallas has traded for a Carolina Panther superstar.
What?
A little bit sarcastic and insincere on that last bar there, folks. Fellas, do you guys want to start off with the game? I feel like we might be repeating ourselves the way the results are happening. Or do we want to look at the trade? I know it's been a lot of HSOs going on around the trade. And honestly, I'm kind of leaning both ways. So where do you guys want to start?
I'll let Justin decide.
No, Ian, dealer's choice for you.
Dealer's choice? All right.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's halfway through the season, so let's go with the game first. We're halfway through the season just about, and not to say it's completely over at a 3-5 record. I mean, another conference loss is a big thing, but we still have most of the division games to go. So I would feel like I'd be pretty positive. But there is one big but, fellas, is the Dak Prescott injury. And, that happened early in the fourth quarter. So I feel like since that happened, that kind of throws out most of my opinions on the game. And it's really hurting any positive thoughts I have moving forward.
In a perfect world, if Cowboy Doctor was, let me relax on how I want to give a sort of adjective. But the point of the matter is how many people have been set to be coming back from injury that wind up either having a setback or all of a sudden McCarthy's just like, yeah, they're not really ready to go, and they're going to stick with the rehab group this week. So trending in the right direction, though. But the fact of the matter is, let's just say hypothetically, because that's on IR. Let's just say that I think the real question isn't a matter of what they will be able to do in the next couple of games. It's a matter of, do we really think this is going to be a 4-week injury?
I thought it has to be if he's on IR.
Oh, at minimum. That's at least 4 games.
That's what you're saying.
I'm saying, do we think it's going to be more than that, just given the trend of how these other people have been coming back from injury or have even yet to come back from injury yet?
I mean, my assumption is it's going to be more than 4 weeks, but my degree was not in the medical field. It was in the business field, so I can't tell you that. But you're right. I mean, like, Deron Bland's was extended. I don't remember the initial timetable on Tanks, but I felt like it was definitely shorter than what it has been. So, yeah.
No, the other one's Micah, bro.
And Micah, well, yeah, what was his timetable? I don't remember that one either.
Well, I think high ankle sprain is about like 4 to 6 weeks, and obviously this is, I think, week 7 or week 6. So,
yeah.
Any sort of positivity coming out of the Cowboys brass about an injury, I'm taking that with a grain of salt these days going forward.
Well, just wait for the old man to go onto the radio and say that Dak should be back the following week after IR. I mean,
okay, so to your point, Rudy, let's just say hypothetically, that Dak heals within the 4 weeks. So you got, was it Philly, Houston, Washington, New York?
Oh. Yeah. That's right.
So I believe all 4 games are realistically winnable. Do I think rush hour football is going to get you 4-0? Do I even think it's going to get you 2-2?
Wait. What do you mean they're winnable? Like with the current state of this team?
Think, in theory, I think the talk of what's going to be the talk this week is that Micah is coming back, and I think Bland is as well. So, in theory, you get your defense back to maybe what you thought it could be this year with your playmakers coming back. and you match up pretty well in the division, just historically these past couple of years, and then the Mike McCarthy era. And Houston, they're just as injured, not playing well either. So if the superstars return on the defensive end and they play like they're supposed to, maybe you can talk yourself into a couple of games getting squeaked out here and there. And then in theory, if you take care of business in the division and Dak only misses 4 weeks, hey, you're kind of back in the mix. I'm not saying none of that is going to happen. I'm just painting a picture of what could possibly be the positive approach in those type of aspects.
Well, as Ian mentioned, we traded for a superstar wide receiver, so that should lighten the burden on CD Lamb man. Sure, there's a chance we can, like, Cooper Rush isn't awful. When he came in, he did miss some passes, throwing behind some receivers, and slightly overthrew Tolbert, if you want to blame him on that one. He wasn't horrible. You could talk me into us winning a game, the Giants game in particular. I do think the fraudulent Texans get up on us, and I don't foresee us going up and taking down Philly or Washington right now. Even with the superstars, I mean, we had the superstars early on in the season, and that made no difference in particular against, like, New Orleans.
You didn't have Blandon.
You hate Bland, though. You said he's got holes.
Well, let me say this. I want to get back to Justin's original point that he started this all off with, which was Mr. Cowboy Doctor. I know the man looks outdated with the cowboy hat, but what is his medical process and, like, his rehab process out as well? Is that outdated as well? Because, my goodness, I can't believe we're still waiting on some of these players to come back, and the fact that we keep getting injuries. Okay,
is it
this
him?
Is a huge problem. This is like a huge thing.
Because is the issue the doctor, or is it the Cowboys PR going, yeah, they'll come back a lot sooner?
Well, no, because Bland's whole thing was he got a whole different set of injury with he re-aggravated.
But that was from him going back on the field.
I think it's 100% rehab problem, Rudy. I don't think it has much to do with the media. It's the rehab. I mean, they get the final okay. If you're on schedule, I mean, you're on schedule. If you're not on schedule, that's on the rehab process.
Well, but that's the thing, though, with the Bland thing. It was a Jones person. I forget if it was Steve. I think it was Steven who was like, yeah, and this was like 3 weeks ago, maybe. He's like, yeah, Bland's coming back, and McCarthy.
He's not.
Was
so it's not like they're making
no, bro. But my point was that McCarthy.
Setback, Rudy.
Okay. Well, okay. Is that the doctor,
had like
or is that just
he had like knee swelling and the injury was surgically repaired. Like, it was a broken foot that was surgically repaired.
Let me say this, Rudy. I would agree with you if he came back and then he got hurt during a game and then he was gone again. I would agree with you then. They're like, oh, they're forcing guys back because they're, the media or whatever. They're the Cowboy media is pushing these guys back too soon. They're not even coming back. And to Justin's point, this dude had surgery, and then he re-aggravated whatever exercises he was doing during rehab, not re-aggravated, but caused a different injury.
Yeah, but isn't there something to, like, play? Okay, yeah, we'll skip the injuries. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, let me just also answer Justin's real question was, can this defense carry it with the superstars coming back? Even if they are back, are we confident Cowboy Doctor has gotten them fully, like, 100% back, or they're going to be playing at 80%? Because I'm kind of worried that they're playing at 80, 75%, and it will, make things even worse. I don't want us to make desperate decisions on our superstar players right now, considering how things are laying out. When Cooper Rush was successful, our defense basically put the team on their shoulders. It was early in the season, and they were confident, and they had this great mentality to rescue, or help Cooper Rush get through those 5 games when Dak was out, 2 years ago or whatever. That is not the case right now. This defense looks a little shell-shocked, or just very not in a good way right now. So I don't see a way that this defense can carry this team like it did whenever they did that.
The defense, 100% on that end. And then also, I think he was behind a better offensive line. I swear, like, every drive he had in the fourth quarter, it was Tyler Guyton with either a hold, a false start, an illegal formation. Ferg's false start, was that when Rush was in? I don't know. It's just sloppy, man. Everything's so sloppy too. So it's your defense. I don't think is like the turnover machine that it was under Dan Quinn. Although he did get one this past game, but it's just not that. And then, yeah, offensively, you shoot yourself in the foot every possession. So, I don't know, man. It's almost an impossible.
Let me ask you guys a question. If we're 4-7 going into the New York game, and that one win is either against Philly or Washington, how are we feeling? Are we feeling confident, or is it game over? And like Dak is scheduled to come back after the Giants game.
At 4-7,
they would have to win out. They would have to get to 10 wins. It would. And your margin for error would be like this thin. They have to, if we still want to play the game of maybe they can make the playoffs, they're gonna have to go 2-2 in this stretch, like minimum.
And are we confident in them doing that? I
guess
no.
Rush hour football isn't gonna get it done, bro. He's not. That defense is not good enough these days. I don't know what they're. Well, there's a lot of reasons why they're not good enough, but it's just.
The thing too is that, and it's not like we're that great at home this year, but after that 4-game stretch, if Dak was perfectly healthy, you got everyone back. You only have one road game, but it is at Philly. And I mean, I don't feel confident in hosting Tampa, Washington. I don't really feel confident in hosting the Bengals. Like, I just no.
They're the same team as you.
I mean, I guess, but I guess maybe it's something where I know my problems more than I know theirs, so I know exactly what to exploit or whatever. But no, to answer your question, I don't feel confident in running the table after the next 4 games.
Hey, but Mingo though, I'm kidding. I'll transition this for you, Ian. Hey, Rudy, we talked about this, man. This is why the fans just need to pipe down, because you got that old man making reckless decisions just to feed fodder. So I think I've come around to it, not like being annoyed by it. I was pretty annoyed when I woke up to it today, but high key annoyed. Your text, Rudy, was the first thing I saw. I was, are you for real? A 4th round pick for that dude? I wouldn't even have drafted them last year.
So bad, dude.
But the way I've been seeing it phrased is that because of the compensatory picks, that they're going to basically blinking red light, they're probably going to trade back to the 4th round anyways, depending on how these projections come out with Tyron Smith, Tony Pollard, Dorrance Armstrong, throw Fowler in there. So they're going to get some picks back. Not sure where they're going to scale. But so if give the PR answer, I guess it's, hey, we kind of liked this guy last year. Our wide receivers suck. Let's just get him now and see what happens. And then we can get a 4th round pick back regardless.
All right, Rudy, before you answer, Justin, I can't believe you were upset, because this means at the very least we won't be watching Jalen Brooks trip on a route to
I would have cut.
So surely this trade is good enough.
They were like, I wonder who the odd man is out with Brandon Cooks eventually coming back. I'm like, what do you mean? Get Brooks out of the door, bro.
Yeah. He did make a nice catch on the sideline this past game, but yeah, other than that, he's pretty much
Rudy,
useless.
I'll ask you one question in regards to that. With all due respect, it was a nice catch, but where did he make the catch?
On the sideline?
I think Ian knows where I'm going with this.
No, actually, I don't.
Was he standing up, or was he
falling down? That's actually, when you said that, made that comment.
But yeah, he was laying down. Oh boy, yeah. I don't know. I get what you're saying. I have heard that spin as well. I think Clarence Hill was talking about, like, well, you have all these compensatory picks, so it's kind of a nothing. But he's kind of nothing, and if you can use 5s to get into the 4th round, you can use your 4 and some other picks to get into the 3rd round if you really like the prospect. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just getting rid of a solid asset for kind of nothing. And, like, I don't see the return. I don't see how a 4th-round pick was worth that. Again, I see what people are saying. You have all these fits, but you can bundle shit and go up to the 3rd or whatever. You can use that 4th for something better.
Hey, if it means that the only way I could possibly spin this, if it means that you don't trot out Flournoy and Brooks every now and then, I'm okay with it. Cause
you're already over Flournoy.
Oh, I'm so done. I'm done with all these Cowboys receivers not named CD. Quite honestly, if I had it my
Even
way,
Tolbert,
well, you said Tolbert, man. Tolbert. Yeah. When is it gonna? If that dude was kind of like built in the mold of like Cedric Wilson, I'd be all right. But like, I feel like he's not even consistent like that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, and I need to like do a deeper dive on some Jalen Tolbert tape, which I don't know where I'm gonna pull that up. But he's a little frustrating to watch sometimes because you know what a game he had against the Steelers. I mean, he makes the final touchdown in this last game, got some separation on that. But also, like, there was a play earlier in the game where Dak throws to him. It's slightly high, but it's through his hands. And I think against the Niners, he had something go through his hands too. Like, it just feels like he's physically can kind of get himself open. As far as Cowboys receivers goes, he gets the most separation of all the backups outside of CD, but I don't even trust his hands. So, like, I don't know, man. He's hit or miss for me.
Going back to the Mingo trade, Justin, I was like you. I was really upset when it happened, but I've kind of been calmed down from what Rudy was talking about of how, well, you're getting a 2nd round for a 4th round pick or whatever, since you liked him or your scouts liked him, although we could have a conversation about are we really trusting our scouts lately after what this draft and develop team is putting out there.
That's what was the Trey Lance case too. It's like, well, he's kind of a 1st-round pick, so
this guy's going to at least play, Root. This guy's at least going to play, so.
We're a twisted ankle from Trey Lance playing. And some people are arguing that Trey Lance should be starting and try to show some good tape and then get some value out of him.
This is the whole point of trading for Lance. I feel like we already know what Rush is going to... All right, if this may be like going back to the previous topic, but like if Rush goes out there and poops the bed against Houston and Philadelphia, I bet you they roll out Trey Lance.
Yeah, I agree with you, but
that doesn't surprise me.
I want to see Cooper Rush against Philly at the very least because I think... Philly, bro, it's a division game, and Philly's Philly. They're just as silly as we are at times. So let's at least give that a go. And then if that game gets washed, and then if we lose that game, and then, like you said, Rush is bad against Houston, all right, I guess might as well roll out Lance at that point.
What I'm hoping is with Rush starting, we don't minimize the playbook at all. Like, I don't know if because he came in late in the game and we're trying to make a comeback, we're running these deep routes. And so, like, the playbook's wide open. But if at the beginning of the game against Philly, we minimize it to, like, it's a quick slants or screens. And mind you, the screens were working. They were. But I want him to have the full playbook, too. Like, he's a 10-year pro at this point or whatever he is. He's been here a while.
I think that says more about your O-line than it does your quarterback. But
I think, well, that's the funny thing, though, is that in that game, when Dak was starting, there was so many quick passes. And you're right. I was like, okay, this is all O-line. Late in the game, it's Cooper Rush, and he's throwing deep almost every play. And, I don't know. I just think you got to trust it. Like the O-line, I kind of trailed off on the end of that one. But no, I think, look, the O-line is not great at all, but it tends to be more penalties. They allowed pressure this last game. But
hey, bro, your Hall of Famer took points off the board,
bro,
because he couldn't get a block.
He's horrible. You're talking about the Dowdle screen or which one? Yep. Yeah. Hey, Rico Dowdle, kind of fire.
Yeah, that's a discussion for another day. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he does these next couple of weeks before we can revisit that discussion. But
he was solid against the Falcons, though. You can say that.
Hey, kudos to him.
Okay.
Can we get 2 weeks in a row, please? Like
that. Hey, man, that's fine. I don't know. You just you had this impression of him that he's complete garbage, and so he wasn't complete garbage. He was all right.
Rudy, Ian, I tried to warn you. We all predicted it. Week 2 was New Orleans' Super Bowl, and boy, oh boy, had they not come down from that Super Bowl high.
I think they have.
They have fallen flat.
Another disgusting L, this time to the Panthers. And quite honestly, I think the funniest part is the players after the game. Cam Jordan. Hey, bro, superstar pass rusher, media man, future TV, television, whoever, whatever. You know, he gonna give him the Kelsey bag. This man couldn't even wait till after the shower. At 3:35, we just lost to the Panthers. ... I love y'all, New Orleans. Truly had higher expectations and the best of hopes for us. Y'all deserve it. If that wasn't enough, his fellow D-line mate couldn't wait to get his takes off as well. Rudy, I know you're a big fan of his work, but for the rest of the listeners, I'll go ahead and share with the class.
Please.
At least Saunders waited till 4 p.m., but this man an hour later after the game, probably at home, already got out of his car, still hot. Or I guess they probably on the team plane because wasn't this game in Carolina, probably? Yeah, it was in Carolina.
I wish we knew.
Motherfuckers is cheekbones, SMH. New Orleans, y'all deserve better. My only goal is to finish above 500 at this point. My man tweeting through it, which all respect to him, because that man clearly knew how bad of a loss this was if you're losing to Bryce Young. If this was a college football...
Unnecessary.
If that was a college bowl game, that motherfucker would have been called the Cottonelle Doo-Doo Bowl. We just lost the Cottonelle Doo-Doo Bowl. SMH.
Yes. Just eloquent with it. I'm imagining him... Like, the thing is, he's post-shower, post-game snack. Like, he should be in the mindset of, like, I don't know, try to distract yourself, pop on a show, listen to an album. He's, like, disgusted. And he tweets out those series of cheek texts and doo-doo going on. It's a lot of potty talk going. But I love it. I respect it. I'm so happy to see it, honestly. There was someone else replying to it. He's like, yeah, I want to end up being, like, 500 at the end of the season. They're like, why? Like, pride? He's like, yeah. Like, yes. They're completely disgusted with that performance in Carolina, as they should be. It goes ahead and gets the head coach fired as well, that after week 2, bro, after that Cowboys game, he was going to be the coach of the year, and they had won their Super Bowl. He figured out what to do with these weapons, Justin, with Olave and Kamara and everyone. Rashid Shaheed is looking amazing. Granted, a few injuries occurred, but that is... Wow, it is great to see. Sucks for them, but it's pretty dang hilarious.
But good for everybody else. The only thing that makes me upset is that this only happens because their coach is fired. So even if a team was this bad, like Carolina, they're not going to say that.
No, bro, Ian, they quit. This was before the dude got fired. They were firing off they couldn't believe they lost to the Panthers. Shit, I doubt if Andy Dalton was still at the helm, I doubt they had this reaction. But they said, man, no way, bro. We lost to this dude coming back.
Jeez. The Cottonelle Doo-Doo Bowl, Chief. You don't understand how bad this is. They got dudes from Carolina tweeting at him. There's a dude from Carolina was tweeting at him back, and he's like, I don't care, bro. Like, y'all trash. Like, what's that make you? It was just, I don't know. Just love to see it. Love to see it.
Well, I hate to bring this back to the Cowboys, but A, shout out to Mike McCarthy for beating the Vegas odds and not being the first coach can't. But B, maybe are we a little worried that Micah Parsons was standing up for Derek Carr, saying that man ain't ass.
Oh, bro, speaking of which, that man got put in the scope yet again. by Michael Thomas.
By those who know him well, Micah.
Hey, bro, but I think we need to push. If this is the one thing that will help me clean up the NFL, we gotta start finding quarterbacks for getting receivers killed. Take the paycheck out of the instead of taking the paycheck out of the defender's hand, take it out of the 1%, aka the quarterback.
True, dude. That's the thing that. Look, a lot of people hated Brady when he came into the booth, but I mean, every time a quarterback gets someone killed, he will point it out. Like, and
he's a hypocrite, but
I mean, he is, but also at least he's like he'll say it. I don't know. It feels like a lot of these busters on commentary are just like, oh, that was a tough one. He held on. That was a little tough there.
No, Rudy, they immediately demonize the defender. You just can't do that. The rules are rules. These days, you know, I know 20 years ago you could do this, but you know, you just can't do that. That's going to hurt your team. Blah, 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 blah.
Do you know how many times this year I've heard like, oh, that's a flag, and then they see the replay and they're like, well, you know, initially, when I first saw it, I thought it was a dirty hit, but I guess he led with the shoulder. Like, it's all reactionary. You're not wrong about that. Yeah, man.
Gene, what do you think? Absolutely, that's targeting. I mean, no question about it.
No, is it Gene?
Force to the head, neck area, that's targeting.
I've honestly heard a solid amount of refs say, like, you know, when on the field, that was actually a good call when they don't call the what's the call, unnecessary roughness or whatever, or targeting, leading with the crown of the helmet. Like, I've heard a lot of complimenting when those aren't called.
Well, since we're throwing compliments around, I can't compliment the league with this performance this year. Nasty all across the board. You got your first 3:00 window, or the primetime game of the week is Packers Lions. See, this should tell you guys why we can't be having no Lions as the premier cream of the crop, bro. What a snooze fest of a game. And then the follow it up.
I think it says about Green Bay, but
I know, bro. Can't have that. But I was told Green Bay is like a really force to be reckoned with this year. Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, weapons galore. Them boys got embarrassed at home in the weather. And that boy was Love a California boy, ain't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not looking well for Lambeau these days, if that's the man that's going to be leading the charge for the Pack. And then to follow it up on prime time. Both primetime games, absolutely egregious. I'll start with the Big 12 Bowl. Yuck. Baker Mahomes. Ain't nobody want to see that.
Dude, there are a lot of people that actually would love to see that matchup.
I know, and I'm not one of them.
Actually, for some reason, I don't know why I reacted like that. I thought you were talking about Sunday night game for some reason, but now I think about it, the Big 12 Bowl wouldn't make sense. But I didn't think that game was that bad.
Yeah, well,
outdoors, it's got the elements. Classic. Well, one team has a classic uniform. That's about all I need. But to your point, bro, we gotta stop having what do you call it? Conference versus conference primetime games, bro. That shit does not move me. That is nasty business, and it's with the Monday night, Sunday night, and then even last week was like Cincinnati and New York. Ugh, bro, stop chasing games and just put the tried and true formula back to work, bro.
Yeah, bro, you're really onto something there. I honestly hadn't really thought that deep into it, but yeah, the more divisional games or even conference between teams that have the chance to meet in the conference championship game or have in the past, I actually really like that idea. They should definitely try to strictly stick to more of that.
This is disgusting because they're getting away from rivalries that make sense within the conference because Rudy just said playoff implicate. Well,
Niners and Cowboys. Even though the Cowboys aren't great, Niners Cowboys should always be a primetime game. I guess the only cross-conference one that made sense was Cowboys-Steelers because, the history
that makes sense,
and
going back into history and whatnot. But
Colts-Vikings?
Patriots-Giants,
disgusting.
both horrible teams right now, but that also got some history in there. But sorry, go ahead.
Colts-Vikings, though?
That's a stretch.
Yeah,
that's not history, Rudy. Patriots Giants. That's not history, bro. That's 10 years ago.
Well, they played 2 Super Bowls in the last 15 years.
That's still not history.
Okay.
If Eli and Tom Brady were still on the sideline, sure. But
I did preface it by saying both teams are trash right now.
Matt Stafford, bro. Here's a historical matchup. Bro, get the fuck out of here. They just played in a Super Bowl together.
All right, we just saw Joe Flacco and Sam Darnold play. Like, let's not pretend like we're just putting great
chasing
QB
the tail, bro.
out there.
They're chasing the tail, Rudy. They said, "Oh, Vikings kind of nice. Let's put them on prime time." And I'm like, bro, ain't nothing.
That was a flex,
about that.
wasn't it?
Yeah. And then granted, the Monday night game became a thing before the season started, but dude, Tampa Bay kind of low key fell off in a way. So I'm not really trying to see that.
I mean, I'd be curious to watch that game if they had both their receivers. But I mean, look, the Chiefs were shooting themselves in the foot. It was
because the Chiefs aren't.
That's what they do.
Yeah, bro. The Chiefs are what they are.
All I'm saying is the game wasn't a complete blowout. Like, it wasn't trash.
Doesn't mean it was good.
I mean, Justin's point of this whole thing was that there are no good games anymore. Like, every game's trash.
There isn't, bro. There isn't. The product is terrible, man. Like, the noon slate, abysmal.
Justin, I know the only reason you liked football was to watch Tom Brady and Peyton Manning go at it.
Honestly, I used to be anti those old men at quarterback. Matter of fact, I might as well bring them back, quite honestly, because my fandom ain't dying, but damn, like it's becoming more and more of a snooze fest every Sunday. Every time I turn on the television.
Honestly, when I talk to you,
I'm pretty disgusted with these coordinated offensive coordinator run offenses that just dial up. I don't know. It's basically damn near AI running the offense now. There's no art that we had back with Peyton Manning running no huddle and audibling every play, or Tom Brady just death by 1,000 paper cuts, bro. It's all this.
Well, then, I mean, I know y'all understand the defense side of the ball more than the average fan. Shouldn't y'all be proud or like to see that?
I don't even think it's like defenses. Like, sure, there's an element of defense that caught up and made some adjustments, but I just think that like offensive play is just mediocre across the board to begin with, more so than anything.
Especially the quarterbacks. But when I think like, okay, so there was, and I don't know the number updated today, but after the first, like, let's say 3 weeks, that only like 1 or 2 quarterbacks got above like 300. Like, there's a bunch of 200-yard passing days. And I mean, that has to do with scheme. Like, you're right. They caught up with better scheme, but I don't know when everything's.
I think that says more about the quarterbacks, bro. They just stink. Like, I know you don't like me saying that. I know you think I'm being a dead horse, but
no. I actually don't think that. I think when you first mentioned that you thought Stroud sucked, I thought you were being a little bit of a hater. But I've seen it more recently, so I'm not fighting you on that. Okay. Actually, I think more than anything, I'm trying to give credit to coordinators.
Though. Don't say I said he sucked, but
you said he stinks.
I said he's top 10, but he's not as good as people think that he's as.
Okay, regardless, I think, like, I don't know, there's nothing wrong with complimenting the defense for figuring out ways to stop the deep ball or stop whatever. And we've seen a resurgence in running back play low-key this season, too.
Well, Rudy, I would concede that point if we had, like, these Baltimore Ravens, Seattle Seahawks defenses of elder years. None of these defenses are like that. Ain't nobody... Oh, well, sure. 1 in a million, but
hey, Rico Dowdle had a good game.
Even them, I'm not like lining up against them saying, "Damn, bro, it's kind of tough." I mean, they're good, but like ain't nobody shaking in their boots, I feel like, going up against them. But
yeah, that might have to do more with the rules. I could say I think Chicago, Minnesota, and Pittsburgh may be the last hard-nosed defenses that can kind of win games for their teams. But yeah, there's not like when we were growing up the late 2000s, the Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers games where it was a war.
And I mean, to your point, Rudy.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, to your point with the running backs. I mean, yeah, I'm happy that Derrick Henry getting his numbers, Saquon getting his numbers. Who else is getting their numbers? Jacobs to an extent. Even though I called him
Mixon?
Watch at the beginning, even though I called him Watch, he getting his numbers.
Mixon's having a great year.
I'm cool with that, but I'm not winning the war with that, bro.
What about Swift?
Man, that's so fake. That dude's not good.
Oh
I don't want to hear.
God!
You'll
I remember
never get
last
me
year
to-
y'all were bashing on him.
You'll never get me.
I might have to
good-
walk it back a little bit because
You'll never get me
the
to
fact
get
that he's
him.
still putting something out there. I'm kind of shocked. I thought for sure.
Thank you.
Y'all
Chief.
should have.
Well,
That
I'm
man.
going all the way in your direction.
That man living large off the last couple of weeks, quite honestly. But y'all
He's
should have
been pretty
seen his.
consistent.
You should have seen his early year performance. But no, bro, I'll never be in his camp. With all due respect. But
There's good running back play this year, though.
they ain't
I mean,
getting the
like-
credit that's due, bro. I saw an MVP poll. Not a single person not named a quarterback in there. I'm
yeah,
like,
don't get me started on that. That's disgusting. I hate that, the MVP has to be a QB because he touches the ball every play. I mean, by that same logic, the QB can also be the least valuable player on the team by touching the ball every play. So, like, there has to be a middle ground. It can't always be a QB. But anyway, different tangent. But yeah, no, running back play has been nice. And it seems that a lot of solid defenses are on awful offensively led teams. So, like, that also kind of hinders it too. Although, like, the Jets. Yeah, I don't know. Broncos have a good defense, but their QB sucks as well.
they're actually kind of quietly good, bro. It's kind
The
of weird.
Broncos,
Yeah, they're
The
probably
defense?
going to make the playoffs.
their
I mean,
defense
the
is
team.
solid. What about the Chargers
not-
defense? Chargers
Don't they have
defense
like
solid.
the Washington football team record? about
Yeah, they
beating
kind
nobody
of they
good?
got the Commanders smoke and mirrors going for them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. When I've seen them play, they're pretty god awful.
Nah,
But
Those
they're,
play the right
the AFC is so putrid that they're not even gonna sneak in. They're gonna just waltz their way into the playoffs.
man, yeah.
I'm telling you, moral of the story: football is bad these days.
No, there are aspects that are real good. They're just not the traditional thing that draws
No,
people in, I suppose.
The bar has
like
been
QB play.
severely lowered.
No, bro,
And
I'm cool with no good QB play. I'm okay with that. Everything else has been just, yuck. And just what's being pushed, it's just not. It's not sustainable, bro. It's just y'all really addicted to the NFL. If y'all are just like, yeah, the season's been great.
Feeding into legacy media. Classic Justin. All right, now it's time for everyone's favorite segment, the Pick'ems. As I do every week, I'm going to toss it over to Chief. Let us know how we did, bud.
well, Rudy, I think this became even your more favorite segment because not only have you gone back in the race, you probably finished with the best week anyone has ever done with 13 wins. And that's good enough to put you in second place, as Justin finished second with 7 wins, and I came in last with 6. So now the totals are: Justin, you have 71. Rudy, the new second place man, at 68, and Chief is in third with 67. Back to you.
Oh, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That is just masterful. Artfully done by the maestro himself. You know what? I feel like adding to that total. So let's get straight to it. Thursday night football. We have the Bengals traveling to Maryland to take on the Baltimore Ravens. The spread is currently Bengals plus 6. I'll take the Ravens.
Ravens, and wow, we finally get a good game.
It's
Back
on
to our-
Thursday night. That's not a good game. I'll take the Ravens.
All right, clean sweep for the
It's a
boys
waste
with
of a division
beaks.
matchup.
Moving on. We got the battle for Brian Burns. We got the Giants traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. The spread is currently Panthers plus 6, and I will take the Panthers.
Yeah, give me Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, give me Carolina.
Oh, all right. Clean sweep there. Moving on. We got the Buffalo Bills traveling to Indy to take on the Colts. The spread is currently Colts +4, and I will take the Bills on the road.
Let's go Buffalo, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right. That is not my favorite. Moving on, after that clean sweep, the Vikings traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Spread is currently Jacksonville +4, and I will take the Vikings.
Give me the Vikings. How's Doug Peterson still employed?
It's beyond me.
Dang. I guess I'll take the Vikings as well.
Clean sweep again. Moving on, we got the Steelers traveling to the nation's capital, taking on the Commanders. The spread is currently Steelers +3. And I will take the Steelers.
Steelers.
Come on. Give me the Steelers.
All right, I kind of want to switch after that. God damn, I don't like this. Moving on, we got the Falcons traveling to the new interim head coach-led Saints. The spread is currently Saints +3.5. I'll take the new coach boost and take the Saints.
Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, I'll take the Falcons.
All right. You got to remember, Falcons drop off after they convince everyone that they're good. So, moving on.
Thanks.
We got the Broncos traveling to KC to take on the Chiefs, where the spread is currently Broncos +8.5.
Huh. Give me the Broncos. Casey ain't blowing nobody out.
Ian, you want to go ahead and jump in as well?
Yeah, I guess I'll take the Broncos.
All right. I was very tempted to take the Chiefs there, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Broncos as well. Gross. All right. Another clean sweep. I think there's only been one game without a clean sweep. But anyway, we got the Niners traveling to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. The spread is currently Tampa +5.5. And I will take Tampa in that one.
Give me San Francisco.
Yeah, give me the Niners.
All right. There we go. Like to hear that. Moving on, we got the Patriots traveling to Chicago, taking on the Bears. Da Bears, if you will. The spread is currently Patriots +6.5. And I will take the Patriots in that one.
Give me the Pats.
Damn. Yeah, me too.
Gross.
As anti-Chicago as this pod is, Ian, you really thought either one of us were taking that?
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, we are now sliding on into the 3:00 window where we got the Titans traveling to Hollywood, taking on the Chargers. The spread is currently Titans +7.5. I'll take the Chargers. Oh God, that's a lot. Give me the Chargers. Damn.
Give me the
Not
Chargers.
totally sold on that one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, give me the Chargers.
All right. Another clean sweep. We move on over to 325, where the Eagles travel to Arlington to take on the Boys. The spread is currently Cowboys +7. Actually, no, it's more common. 7.5 is the more common line. And I'll say the Cowboys stay within 7.5.
Give me Philly.
Give me Philadelphia.
All right. Fair enough. moving on to things that fly. We got Jets and Cardinals. This will be taking place in Arizona. The spread is currently Jets +1. I'll take the Cardinals there.
Give me the Jets.
I will take the Cardinals.
All right. Moving on. We got the Lions traveling to Texas, to Houston specifically, taking on the Texans. Spread is currently Texans +3.5. I will take the Lions there.
Give me Detroit.
Yeah.
All right. Another clean sweep. We move to the final game, Monday Night Football. We got the Dolphins traveling to LA to take on the Rams. The spread is currently
What are we doing?
Dolphins +2.5. I'll take the
Bruh.
Dolphins +2.5.
Give me the Rams.
Yep, Rams.
All right, thus concludes the pick'ems. We will see how this goes. I don't think it's possible for me to make up a margin as such as I did last week, but y'all already know I killed that shit. Ain't a thing.
Anything else?
Nah.
Let's get out of here.